We live in a world obsessed with labels. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded with messages that tell us who we should be, what we should strive for, and how we should present ourselves to the world. We define ourselves by our professions, our possessions, our relationships. We take pride in our job titles, the cars we drive, the houses we live in, and the people we associate with. These external markers become the foundation of our identity. But what happens when we strip away these external markers? Who are we then? When we are alone without the distractions of the material world, we are faced with the essence of our being. The truth is, our true identity lies beyond these fleeting constructs. It is not defined by what we own or what we do, but by the deeper, unchanging part of ourselves that remains constant amidst the ever-changing circumstances of life. We're not our thoughts, our emotions, or our experiences. These are transient and ever-changing. One moment we may feel joy, the next sorrow. Our thoughts can be uplifting or destructive. Our experiences can shape us, but they do not define us. We are the awareness that witnesses these things. This awareness is the silent observer, the part of us that remains unchanged, regardless of the external circumstances. It is the core of our being, the true self that lies beyond the illusion of identity. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to identify with the world around us. We are given names, roles, and expectations. We are taught to seek approval and validation from others, to conform to societal norms, and to measure our worth by external standards. We are given names, roles, and expectations. These labels become the building blocks of our identity. We start to believe that we are the roles we play, the names we are called, and the expectations placed upon us. Over time, we come to believe that these external definitions are who we are. We become attached to our labels and roles, and we fear losing them. We seek validation and approval from others, and we measure our worth by external standards. This identification with form creates a false sense of self, an ego that is separate from the world. This ego is fragile and constantly seeking validation and security. It is driven by fear and desire, and it creates a sense of separation and isolation. An ego that is separate from the world. This sense of separation creates suffering as we feel disconnected from others and from the world around us. We become trapped in a cycle of seeking and striving, never truly finding peace or fulfillment. This ego is a collection of thoughts, beliefs, and stories that we tell ourselves about who we are. These stories are often based on past experiences and future expectations, and they create a distorted view of reality. And stories that we tell ourselves about who we are. These stories can limit us and keep us stuck in patterns of behavior that do not serve our highest good. They can create a sense of lack and unworthiness, and they can prevent us from realizing our true potential. It is constantly seeking validation and security in the external world. It looks for happiness in material possessions, status, and achievements. But these things are fleeting and cannot provide lasting fulfillment. But true peace and fulfillment cannot be found in the fleeting pleasures of form. They can only be found within, in the depths of our being. When we connect with our true self, we find a source of peace and joy that is not dependent on external circumstances. They can only be found within, in the depths of our being. This inner connection allows us to experience life from a place of wholeness and authenticity. It frees us from the illusion of identity and allows us to live in alignment with our true nature. Society tells us who to be and how to live. From the moment we are born, we are inundated with expectations and norms. These societal constructs shape our thoughts, behaviors, and even our dreams. We are taught to follow a certain path, to fit into predefined roles, and to measure our worth by external standards. We are bombarded with messages about success, beauty, and happiness. Advertisements, social media, and cultural narratives constantly tell us what we should aspire to. They paint a picture of an ideal life that is often unattainable and unrealistic. This relentless stream of information can make us feel inadequate and lost. These messages can be so pervasive that we lose sight of our own inner compass. We become disconnected from our true selves, our passions, and our unique purpose. The noise of the external world drowns out the quiet voice within that knows what truly matters to us. We begin to live our lives according to someone else's script. We follow the rules and guidelines set by others, often without questioning their validity. We chase after goals that are not our own, and we measure our success by standards that do not resonate with our inner values. Breaking free from this programming requires conscious effort. It demands that we take a step back and critically examine the beliefs and assumptions we have internalized. This process of deprogramming is not easy, but it is essential for living an authentic and fulfilling life. It requires us to question our beliefs, to challenge our assumptions, and to seek out new perspectives. We must be willing to explore different philosophies, engage in deep self-reflection, and embrace the discomfort that comes with growth and change, and to look within for our own truth. This journey of self-discovery is deeply personal and unique to each individual. It involves listening to our intuition, honoring our feelings, and trusting our inner wisdom. It is about finding our own path and living in alignment with our true selves. This is not an easy task. The path to self-liberation is fraught with challenges and obstacles. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to face our fears and insecurities. But with each step we take, we become stronger and more aligned with our true essence. The ego will resist any attempt to dismantle its carefully constructed identity. It will create doubt, fear, and confusion to keep us from breaking free. The ego thrives on control and predictability, and it will fight to maintain its dominance. It will cling to its beliefs and defend its sense of self. The ego's resistance can be powerful, but it is not insurmountable. With awareness and persistence, we can overcome its grip and move towards a more liberated and authentic existence. But the rewards of liberation are well worth the effort. When we break free from societal programming, we experience a profound sense of freedom and empowerment. We become the authors of our own lives, creating a reality that is true to who we are. The journey may be challenging, but the destination is a life of authenticity, joy, and fulfillment. At the core of our being lies a still, silent observer. This is the I that is always present, regardless of our circumstances. It is the awareness that witnesses our thoughts, our emotions, and our sensations without judgment. This observing I is not something that we can think about or analyze. It can only be experienced directly through a process of self-inquiry and observation. When we become aware of the observer, we begin to disidentify from our thoughts and emotions. We realize that we are not our thoughts, we are the one who is aware of them. This realization is a profound shift in consciousness. It is the beginning of true freedom. The mind is a powerful tool. It is the source of our creativity, our problem-solving abilities, and our capacity for innovation. It can be used to create great things. From the masterpieces of art and literature to the marvels of modern technology, the mind's potential is limitless. But it can also be a source of suffering when we become identified with our thoughts. When we let our minds run unchecked, they can lead us down paths of anxiety and stress. When we believe that our thoughts are true, we give them power over us. We start to see our thoughts as reflections of reality rather than just fleeting mental events. We become lost in a sea of worries, fears, and judgments. Our minds can become a prison, trapping us in cycles of negative thinking and emotional turmoil. To find peace, we must learn to detach from our thoughts. This means recognizing that our thoughts are not who we are. They are simply mental events that come and go. We must learn to observe them without judgment, without attachment. By doing so, we can create a space between ourselves and our thoughts, allowing us to respond to life with greater clarity and calm. This does not mean that we should try to stop thinking altogether. Thoughts are a natural part of being human. They help us navigate the world and make sense of our experiences. It simply means that we should not take our thoughts so seriously. Thoughts are just thoughts. They do not define us, and they do not have to control us. They come and go like clouds in the sky. Just as we would not try to hold on to a cloud, we should not try to hold on to our thoughts. Let them pass, and find peace in the space that remains. By practicing detachment from thought, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience. We can learn to navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease and grace. This practice can transform our relationship with our minds, helping us to live more fully in the present moment. It is a journey worth taking for the peace and clarity it brings. The true self is not something that can be found through intellectual understanding. It's not something that can be grasped or possessed. It can only be revealed through direct experience. When we let go of our attachment to form, when we surrender to the present moment, the true self shines forth. It is always there, waiting to be recognized. This recognition is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process of awakening. As we continue to practice self-inquiry and observation, we become more and more established in our true nature. Section 6. The pitfalls of perception. Our perception of the world is shaped by our beliefs, our experiences, and our conditioning. We see the world not as it is, but as we are. This can create a distorted view of reality. We may see ourselves as separate from others, as superior or inferior, as worthy or unworthy of love. These perceptions are not true. They are simply projections of our own minds. To see the world clearly, we must learn to see through the illusions of our own perception. We must learn to see with the eyes of compassion and understanding. Section 7. Silence and the true self. In the silence of the mind, the true self can be found. When we quiet the incessant chatter of our thoughts, we create space for something deeper to emerge. This silence is not empty, it is full of potential. It is the source of all creativity, all wisdom, and all love. To access this silence, we must cultivate a practice of stillness. We must learn to be comfortable with being alone with ourselves, without distractions. Section 8. Embracing the unknown. The journey to self-discovery is a journey into the unknown. It is a process of letting go of what we think we know and opening ourselves to new possibilities. This can be a daunting prospect. The ego craves certainty and security. It wants to hold on to what is familiar. But true growth and transformation happen outside of our comfort zones. When we embrace the unknown, we open ourselves to a world of infinite possibility. Section 9. The journey inward. The journey to self-discovery is not a linear path. There will be times of great insight and clarity, and there will be times of confusion and doubt. The important thing is to keep moving forward, to keep exploring, and to keep asking questions. The answers are already within us. We just need to create the space for them to emerge. The journey inward is the most important journey we will ever take. It is a journey of self-discovery, of healing, and of transformation. It is a journey to the heart of who we truly are.